We are light and dark. We have a shadow side to all of us, and that's okay. And knowing your story and knowing those things about yourself, it's okay. We don't have to be perfect. So I think part of the pressure we can put on ourselves and each other is expecting this level of perfection that as women we've somehow got to live. We've got to be amazing mums. I've got to be a fantastic business person. I've got to be a great mentor. I've got to be fit, healthy. I've got to look great. I can't look in my 40s, definitely not. And all these things, and that is ridiculous, and we can't deliver on that basis. So owning the fact that we are human is okay.
mompreneurs.com.
Hello, you gorgeous, beautiful, radiant soul, and welcome back to the Multi-Millionaire podcast. This is the podcast for mums. We cover business, injustice, and the challenges of motherhood. My name is Vina V. I'm a hypnotherapist, and I help you to achieve unstoppable confidence in all areas of your life. And if you've never listened to this podcast, hello and welcome. Let me give you a hug. And if you are a listener, a long-time listener, thank you so much for returning. And as you know, this podcast is all about sharing those unheard stories from women from across the world in the hope that it inspires and empowers you to use your own voice and reclaim your power. It is time, us ladies, get out our comfort zone, work together, because we are so much more stronger together, and highlight all this injustice that is going on in the world, and also put our stories out there. We cover a lot of business stuff on this podcast, and business and raising a family, it's not easy, but it can be done. And this podcast, we talk about it all, and we also provide to you practical solutions as well. So thank you for being here. If you've not subscribed on YouTube or iTunes and Spotify, please make sure you do, because we've got a brand new episode every single Thursday. Before we get in the episode today, and we are going to be sharing lessons from a millionaire. This woman has created a company, and we're going and looking back in the archives for today's episode. She's created a company that makes millions per year in turnover. She's created a team. She did it from scratch. Her and her brother started a recruitment company in London, and she just keeps building. And she's such a lovely lady as well. So we're going to play you her lessons about what it really takes to create a multi-million pound business. Before I do that, if you have not checked out the Multi-Millionaire blog yet, please make sure you do. Because when you get to mompreneurs.com, click on the donate button, and you can find out exactly what me and my son and thousands of children across the UK right now are going through. There is children missing from education. There is children being hidden. There are so many things going on within the educational system that are just not right. They're affecting our children. It's affecting their mental health. It's breaking down families, and I've just had enough of it. I tried to fight the system for the last 7 months, and it's the system. It's freaking difficult. So now I'm putting all my energy and focus into helping these children access some kind of education and some kind of support, because there's thousands of children, like I said, that aren't getting anything right now. Maybe their parents can't homeschool them. Maybe they've got some kind of additional needs where they just need support from people around them. And we all need to step up and help these children who have fallen through the cracks. Because if we don't, unfortunately, those are the children that end up taking the wrong path in life, and they end up down a path that it's going to be hard for anyone to help them as they get older and mature into adults. So please go and read our story. And if you can donate even a few pounds, it will make such a difference in starting up this charity and helping these children to change their lives and change their destiny. So please do go to the blog, mum2millionaire.com. That's MUMTO millionaire.com. And please do go and read our story. All right, without further ado, here we go. This is Lucy Chamberlain, and these are her lessons to creating a multi-million-pound business.
We can see what doesn't exist and choose to rise above what is.
mompreneurs.com.
The lessons I have learned, of which there have been lots, because I have made so many mistakes. And I think the biggest one that I've really learned is that legacy is important. And it's actually when you have legacy at the heart of what you're doing, you will never lose faith in your journey. And so for me, legacy is all about developing the women that are in my business to be the best versions of themselves, but also to create a business for whom everyone we touch, we leave better than we found them. Whether that's through advice, through connection, or whether it's through the charities that we support. As long as by the time I retire, I've left a legacy, I'm happy. So let's have a look at the lessons I have learned. This is a big one. You can't want change and then get frustrated when it doesn't come. You have to decide to change it yourself. And I think that's the hardest thing of all in terms of lessons, isn't it? Is that you realise, oh crap, I get to decide how happy I am. I get to decide what's going on in my life. No one else, and I can't actually change anyone else. That's the second hardest lesson, I think. For all of you, How to Be a Badass by Jen Sincero is a game changer. Read it or listen to it on Audible. It is somebody that will help awaken you to your power as a woman and as a business person. It's an amazing book. And waiting for things to happen gives you the sense that you're doing something. But actually, it's often an excuse not to do anything. So stop waiting. Don't wait any longer for what you truly want. Because the really hard thing is deciding what you truly want means you have to take some action. Write a letter to yourself and say, for my case, it was, Dear Lucy, you are. So I didn't write you want to be. I didn't write I would like to have. I wrote everything I was going to be. So, Dear Lucy, you are successful, independent, you are courageous, everything, like a life's manifesto. It's really powerful. I read mine nearly every single day. Do I read it every day? No. Some days I wake up in the morning and I just can't be bothered, but I do try. But I read it at least 3 or 4 times a week because it keeps me completely in touch with what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Now, we as women are often brilliant at our ideas. We often have loads of ideas. They're not always very good at the detail behind them. Planning how much it's going to cost, what it's going to cost, when you can do things, our financial forecasts. Hands up if you've got an amazing financial forecast all set out in a spreadsheet for next year. Yeah. 2, okay, 2. I have. I didn't start out my business doing that. I just went in with this, it's going to work. But we need, as women, to get better at our financial planning and our strategy, and to have a year's plan of when you're going to do things. Have it on I've got mine on a great big, okay, I'm old school, but it's a month-by-month planner, and it's broken down into marketing, business development, finance, and that's everything I know that is critical to my business succeeding. But for all of us, without what they say, lack of planning is planning to fail. So visualize what you want and why you're doing it, because it is really hard starting a business. It's really hard. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do because you have to put your heart and soul into it. Rejection feels seriously personal. Any failures, if you want to call them that, feel seriously personal. So to keep a visualization, do a visualization board. Have whatever on there is going to motivate you. Whatever it might be a picture of a holiday, it might be whatever, but have that visualization board and know why you're doing it. So we spoke about that earlier. You cannot run a business effectively without taking care of your needs. And for the first 2 years that I set up C&C, I didn't do that. And I ended up feeling really unwell as a result. I took Christmas Eve off and another day at Christmas in my first 18 months. Which was just ridiculous. And to start with, I thought it was a badge of honour. So my first year, and in fact, actually, with my interview with Vina, I talked about being a steam train, nothing stopping me, endless energy. And of course, what happened at the end of those 2 years is, oh God, I'm human. Yeah. Started getting ill. I started to have real self-confidence issues. So I remember going to public speaking events and actually not being able to speak. And that's, at the time, I didn't know why, but it was because I felt like I was talking about something that wasn't actually true, because I was talking about loving my business and having my heart and soul into it. Because at the time, I had lost sense of that connection. And I think running a business is a bit like being reborn. You become childlike again because you haven't got a clue what you're doing. You're learning everything, you're stumbling. It's like steps that you're taking as a toddler. And then slowly, if you listen to what the universe is telling you, which is you are not feeling well, you need to slow down. You need to sort out what gets you to okay. So we live in a society now which talks about self-care endlessly. Massage, holidays, pedicures, those things are wonderful. However, we also then get this sense of somehow we're failing at something else if we're not having all of those aspects of ourselves being taken care of. And really what we need to know is what gets us to okay. And for me, that's spending time, particularly with my daughter, but my stepsons too. It's making sure I eat well. It's making sure I exercise twice a week. I'd love to exercise 5 times a week, but twice gets me to okay. And one of those has to be a yoga session. It's meditating. And I try and meditate every single day, if it's just for 5 minutes. Because these things, I know now I've explored it enough, get me to okay. And if you know that, you'll know if some of those things slip, you're not going to be okay and you can't run your business effectively. Own your ugly. Okay, so we are light and dark. We have a shadow side to all of us, and that's okay. And knowing your story and knowing those things about yourself, it's okay. We don't have to be perfect. So I think part of the pressure we can put on ourselves and each other is expecting this level of perfection that as women we've somehow got to live. We've got to be amazing mums. I've got to be a fantastic business person. I've got to be a great mentor. I've got to be fit, healthy. I've got to look great. I can't look in my 40s, definitely not. And all these things, and that is ridiculous, and we can't deliver on that basis. So owning the fact that we are human is okay. Why do we find it so difficult as women to say that we want to earn money? I don't know. We can say we want nice things or we're striving towards something, but we find it difficult to fall in love with money. Now, I'm not talking about greed, okay? Because actually money gives choices. It gives us the ability to give back. It gives us the ability to create positive impact. But I am talking about learning to say, I like earning money. Because you will make better business decisions on that basis. You may not spend 2 days helping somebody out that needs you because your business needs you more. But if you fall in love with money in a good way, it will make a big difference. So do not be ashamed to ask for what you are worth. So something else I learnt, particularly in the beginning of my business, was that some of my friendships definitely had a sacrifice. I didn't have as much time. I couldn't be as social as I was. But I also realised is that we are the sum total of the 5 people we spend the most time with. You need to pick your friends carefully, or certainly those that you want to spend the most time with, because they will impact on your level of success. You need to have different people to go for different things. What do they say? Don't look for love in cold places. You've got that person you keep going back to, expecting something from them, and they disappoint you. Stop going there. Don't be disappointed. Make a different choice. And you need to know that you have a friend to go to for financial advice, somebody for relationship advice, somebody to help you with your personal PR and marketing, somebody will tell you the brutal truth, And if you don't have those pillars in place, start finding them, manage your peer group so that you have those people and you'll be that person for them too. Ultimately, success is about keeping going, about knowing what you're here to do, knowing that there is a plan, making sure you put all of those pieces of the jigsaw into place and reach out to people that can do better than you or know better or are more expert. Hustling is important, and hustling is asking for what we need. I was unashamed at the beginning. So one lesson I didn't need to learn was asking for what I needed. Ask and you shall receive, Because if we don't ask, we're not very good at it, it won't come. So ask each other for what you need, and it will all circle back. Everything will circle back. I reached out to Vina and I said to her, we've got no idea what we're doing on social media, help. She came and helped, and then I'm here today. Everything circles back with what you ask for, you make sure that you give back. And that's it from me.
Wow.
What an amazing lady. So many lessons there that we can all take into our businesses and our lives. Thank you so much for listening to the Multi-Millionaire podcast. If you've not subscribed already, please make sure you do. We are here every single Thursday with a brand new episode, and you can subscribe right here on YouTube, or you can listen to this on Spotify, iTunes, and all the major podcasting platforms as well. And please, if you have not read our story yet about what is going on with the education system right now, and you want to help change the lives of these children, please go and have a read of our story, mum2millionaire.com, and click on the donate button. Thank you so much. Please take everything you've learned in today's episode, take action on it, because once you take action, that's when you can start changing your life. Get out your comfort zone, use your voice, and reclaim your power. Okay, I love you, and I will see you in the next episode.